Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Holy moly. Audio
Holy.
issues. We are specialists. It is kind of bright. That's fine.
So we get the intro music, and do you want to take first the ship too? Take the ship.
Do some. Yes.
Oh,
the Wi-Fi is working nice and minty fresh today. We got our sounds, we got our cold brews, and here we are. Welcome to the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. My name is Aubrey.
and I am Drew Clark.
Welcome. Have a little dance off with us.
Oh, come and get it.
Huh, huh, huh.
Get your empathy and your imagination.
Yeah.
Right here. All right.
Okay. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, otherwise elderly and youthful, welcome to the show. Like I said, my name is Drew Clark. My friend here is Aubrey Cloutier.
Hi.
And we are the podcast where we empathize with each other, ourselves, and our guests, and we imagine about solving the world's
whoops.
problems.
Sorry about that.
Easy there, Final Corp.
Final Corp really wants to jump in on this.
Of course, this show is brought to you by Final Corp. They are our main sponsor. Final Corp, it'll be fun.
Thank you, Final Corp.
Yes.
Just wanted to check in. Let's do our check-in.
Let's check in.
I'm feeling good because
Yeah.
everything's working. So I want to check in with you. How you doing? Take a drink.
You know,
Take your time.
I'm happy to have this beer. Let's go ahead and we got a camera on me right now.
Yep, your camera's live.
So this beer we're enjoying today is Green Flash. It's just their Soul Style IPA. It's quite delightful, and just want to say thanks. How I'm doing? You know, I have some interesting news about my whole job money front thing. It's actually a topic I'm going to get into, but for now, how I'm doing is I feel a mixture of set free and kind of cornered. Imagine that one. You gotta explore
Sounds
that
like
a little.
That kind of sounds like between a rock and a hard place.
Oh,
But like a soft rock.
a gentle rock,
Between a soft place and a hard place, maybe.
maybe. So it's like,
I'm interested. Tell me more about that.
so
if you
I
don't mind.
definitely had a big feeling of sadness yesterday, and I feel also sort of free, and that's kind of the weird spot I'm at. I mean, of course, you know, money and work, blah blah blah. We're checking in often about how broke we are. And, you know, that's still the case. And there's more information on that front, and I have funny feelings about it. Otherwise, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be here with my friends and family all hanging out, watching us here at the podcast for Empathy and Imagination.
Cool.
Got to rock earlier.
Yeah, that's fun.
Still getting married, that's cool.
Still
Got
getting
delicious
married.
beer. We get to have some of my favorite medicine a little bit later. Yeah, I think that's my check-in for now. How about you, man?
Cool.
How's my friend over there doing? How you feeling?
Doing pretty good. I didn't go to Guitar Center this week, so
Ooh.
that means the week was great.
No. Sorry, Guitar Center.
Yeah, sorry, Guitar Center. Final Corp has taken your place in our hearts and our minds. No, I'm doing good. Just working a lot. You know, I work usually 6 days a week.
Holy shit.
Like half of it's Saturday. Usually I'm doing some kind of hot tubbing before I get over here.
Mm-hmm. Today, is that the case?
Today was not the case, so I had some extra time. So that was kind of nice. It was the first like Saturday morning I had free in a long time.
Yeah, you're usually hot tubbing
Months. I
Saturday
can't
mornings.
think of when the last one was.
Wow.
And so I'm doing pretty good, man.
I'm feeling good.
Playing a lot of music. It's good to play some music with you guys.
Yeah, we
It's
were
kind of
playing.
nice to do that before the podcast. Yeah. So what's you're feeling cornered? What's that? You know, anything to share there?
Okay, well, yeah, let's jump into my first topic.
All right, cool.
Bam. So last week on the podcast for Empathy and Imagination, I read the letter that I sent in to Hopsy.
Right.
Well, I got a response, and I'm going to read that letter on the air.
All right.
So-
you want to do that now?
Yeah, right
Cool.
now is the time for that. So thank you all for, running through this with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the names out
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Hi, Drew. That's my name, though, so it's fine. Hi, Drew.
Okay. Yeah.
We all really appreciated the vision you put together, an initiative you have to bring added value to Hopsy. We're humbled that you connect with Hopsy's mission and appreciate your work for us. We just got through a hiring round in the various departments and are focused on getting those new people up to speed and creating value. There's always the interim where it's more work and no output until they learn and then take ownership. The other open roles are more specialized, higher level developer, UI/UX, don't even know what that means.
UI is user interface, UX is user experience.
That's not me.
Because we all know that the word experience begins with X.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ops manager and general manager in San Diego with 5 to 10 years experience running warehouses and businesses. So unfortunately, they don't sync up with the ideas you presented. They are indeed solid ideas, though, in areas that could indeed make Hopsy better. Agreed there. But we need to keep our limited resources focused on the existing efforts.
Mm-hmm.
But please be patient. We're growing rapidly, and things that are nice-to-haves now will become must-haves in a few months, if not sooner. Thanks again. Name. That's it. That's the letter I got.
Huh.
So the freedom I feel is that I'm leaving Hopsy.
Right.
That's there's no more. I feel completely happy with my efforts. Like, I didn't hold anything back. I fully went all out and tried my best.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
it's over.
It just wasn't giving you enough Skrilla? Wasn't making you enough money?
I'm basically volunteering.
Oh.
I mean, by the time you're... Yeah, I mean, the loose end is it doesn't pay enough. Like, compared to hot tubbing, right? It's like half. And hot tubbing doesn't pay enough.
So what's the... Okay. That's
so I'm going to be... I feel free because that I got my answer. And it's a solid no, thank you for probably forever, but could be just for now. I think I don't want to have my emotions.
It's kind of a
waiting.
It's kind of a soft no, softer no.
It's a softer no. It's not like I can't believe you tried.
Yeah, it's not a go fuck yourself no.
No, it really is. You had good ideas, but someone with 5 to 10 years warehouse running. See, I only have 3 years experience of running warehouses.
I was gonna say that would be cool. That sounds like a cool thing. Doing ops.
Yeah, but I don't want to move to San Diego.
Yeah.
And I've warehouse running. I've done that. It's not really fun. So.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, So the reason I feel trapped is I had this feeling that happened where it was like, oh man, am I just too weird? Like, am I too? I mean, I might positively spin it and say like, genuine, in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable and capable, but I don't usually talk like other people talk. Like, other people sort of talk speaking very rarely in the I. They more speak about others, and instead of saying like, well, I had the experience where I was feeling it's just like, when you go to the store and you just feel pissed, people don't speak in the I, and I do. And I think that's weird. So my brain sort of feels trapped because it runs around and goes like, well, am I somehow unhireable? Is there something like about me that's...
You've been hired for jobs in the past, though, right?
Yeah, I've been promoted everywhere except for the only 2 officially beer companies I've worked for. Everywhere else I was promoted as quickly as anyone could be.
The tap room in Hopsy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 official beer-only jobs I've had.
Southwest, you were promoted, like, right away, right?
Yeah. Hired at age 19, like 6 months after I was hired, and then managed people double my age. So, and then every other place I've been hired, I've been promoted as quickly as basically possible.
Yeah.
Except for this. So it's like, well, gosh dang it, do I suck in some way that I don't understand? So that's a feeling of feeling a little trapped. So that's kind of morbid. But, it's my feelings when I'm, looking at this letter and considering I read last week what the letter said and sort of the results of how that's all going. How's that going over there?
I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go.
Okay, all right.
Yep, we're all right. Keep going. Sorry.
So
It is getting very hot.
what we could do.
Good on board to do that for
Okay, so yeah, so that's got me feeling multiple things, and it's kind of sad, and that's kind of my main topic there. Of course, I'd love to hear what you might have to say on the topic, if you have anything.
Yeah, I think it's a natural feeling. Everyone feels like they're weird, most people do. Unhireable, or, I mean, God, you gotta think about how many places you apply before you get accepted somewhere. So that can definitely chip away at your self-confidence and self-esteem. I personally don't think that you're weird. I mean, you're weird enough, not too weird.
Yeah.
It's also entering the economy now is more like you create your own jobs. You are your own brand.
Wow, look at this, folks.
Camera's on you.
Look what just happened. Wow.
Here, let me see.
That's amazing. That was my last pipe, too. It just broke on the podcast. I'm just trying to clear it out. That couldn't be a dirtier pipe if I tried.
We've had a couple equipment failures today.
Hey,
we had a battery fail. We had one of my tablets fail, and then a pipe failure.
You know what? It's okay. It's fine.
Everything's fine! You got something else? I have an apple over there.
Well, I have something else too. Yeah, well...
You? Okay.
Okay, so... Thank you for that. Thanks for not saying I'm too weird to be hired. And...
No, I was just going to say, like, you are... Nowadays, it's like you are your own brand and your own business. That's sort of the new model. The model of, like, working for GE for 40 years, getting a good pension. Those days are gone.
Those gays are gone.
Those gays are gone.
My grandpa worked for SRI for like 40 years. He built shit that went into outer space using machine tools, and he was there forever, and then he died.
Yeah.
And that's
nothing wrong with that. I mean,
no. Nothing wrong with it.
There was a lot of stability in that situation. But I think times have changed with the internet and automation and social media.
Could your grandpa get a job today? Probably not.
Probably not. I think some of those jobs are still around, but people switch careers like every 5 years or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I guess, if the audience has something to say or question, you could call us in at the phone number we list on our website.
Yeah, give us a call.
And if comments, thoughts, concerns, go ahead and send us a message.
Yeah.
Also comment on YouTube. So, thank you. So, let's just keep that topic brief. Because it's like we could beat it up, but I'd say that's the topic / check-in section that we're doing okay with. And yeah, so let's keep this podcast moving.
Check-in / weirdness. What else we got? Another topic?
I do have some other things to talk about actually. It's a little more loose, and I'm sort of hoping you interrupt. Ready?
Okay, good. You can do that.
So I've got.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've got 24 of the most inspiring Hillary Clinton quotes.
Oh, boy. Let's see, the thing is, I probably have memorized all these.
And I've got the 21 Donald Trump quotes.
Okay. Do I have to guess, like, who said it? Who said what?
Ooh, that sounds cool. I like that.
I mean, whatever,
Number one.
Whatever.
Fear is always with us. But we just don't have time for it. Not now.
Sounds like Donnie.
That's incorrect.
That's Hillary?
That's Hillary.
Oh.
Number 2.
Was that Hillary?
Sometimes your best investments are the ones you don't make.
Hillary.
Trump.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I'm reversed.
What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate.
That's Hillary.
Trump.
Wow.
Always aim high.
Are these contemporary quotes or just like quotes from?
It's
just
the
from
whole
whatever,
thing. It's,
yeah.
Always aim high. Work hard and care deeply about what you believe in. And when you stumble, keep faith. And when you're knocked down, get right back up and never listen to anyone who says you can't or shouldn't go on.
Trump.
Clinton. You've scored 0 correct
0
so
so
far.
far out of 5.
Number 6. The worst thing that can happen in democracy, as well as an individual's life, is to become cynical about the future and lose hope. That is the end, and we cannot let that happen.
Trump.
That was Clinton.
I'm trying to get the wrong answers.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's not... Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's a blip, not a catastrophe.
Trump.
That's correct!
That sounds like something.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, I've said that for all 20.
As long as you're going to be thinking anyway, think big.
That's Trump.
Correct. I don't hire a lot of number crunchers, and I don't trust fancy marketing surveys. I do my own surveys and draw my own conclusions.
Trump.
People can judge me for what I've done, and I think when somebody's out in the public eye, that's what they do. So I'm fully comfortable with who I am, what I stand for, and what I've always stood for.
I could be either one. I'm going to go Clinton on that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and you were right on the previous one also.
Okay, so that's 3, right?
Mhm.
Out of whatever.
There's a sense of things. There is a sense that things, if you keep positive and optimistic about what can be done, do work out.
What was that click? I'm going to say that's Trump.
Clinton again.
Huh.
Every moment wasted looking back keeps us from moving forward. In this world, in the world of tomorrow, we must go forward together or not at all.
Clinton.
Correct.
Because she used the word together.
Everything in life is luck. Who's that?
Sounds like Trump.
Correct.
Donnie.
Don Dizzle. If you are a little different or a little outrageous, or if you do things that are bold or controversial, the press is going to write about you.
Trump.
Correct. A tiny leak can sink a ship.
Clinton.
Trump.
Oh, okay. I thought that was cliche Clinton there, but no.
Do all the good you can, for all the people you can, in all the ways you can, as long as you can.
Clinton.
Correct.
That sounds like it's from something else.
That was Twitter last year.
Oh. But it sounds like it's paraphrased from, like, Shakespeare or something.
Yeah, it's probably partially
classic
borrowed.
quote.
Yeah. You know, everybody has setbacks in their life, and everybody falls short of whatever goals they might set for themselves. That's part of living and coming to terms with who you are as a person.
Trump.
Wrong. Clinton.
Huh. Take your own advice.
When you are wronged repeatedly, the worst thing you can do is continue taking it. Fight back.
Trump.
Correct. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to act effectively in spite of fear.
Clinton.
Trump.
Huh.
Remember, there's no such thing as an unrealistic goal, just unrealistic time frames.
Trump.
Correct. See, that was that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's thinking about his presidential run when he wrote that.
It is often when night looks darkest. Wait. Yeah. It is often when night looks darkest. It is often before the fever breaks that one senses the gathering momentum for change, when one feels that resurrection of hope in the midst of despair and apathy.
Clinton.
Correct.
It's way too complex to be.
We need to be fearless as the people whose stories you have applauded, as committed as the dissidents and the activists you have heard from, as audacious as those who start movements for peace when all seems lost.
Clinton.
Correct, I actually changed one of the words because it says women in it, but I thought I would switch that.
Ah. Trying to fool me.
Criticism is easier to take when you realize that the only people who aren't criticized are those who don't take risks.
Trump.
Correct. I only work with the best.
Trump.
Correct. Leaders. True leaders take responsibility for the success of the team and understand that they must also take responsibility for the failure.
Clinton.
Trump.
Huh.
We need to understand that there is no formula for how women should lead their lives. That is why we must respect the choices that each woman makes for herself and her family. Every woman deserves the chance to realize her God-given potential.
Clinton.
Correct.
Yeah.
To every little girl who dreams big, yes, you can be anything you want, even president.
Clinton.
Correct. Money was never a big motivation for me, except as a way to keep score.
That's Trump.
The real excitement is playing the game.
That's from Part of the Deal.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes by losing a battle, you find a new way to win the war.
It sounds like Trump.
Mm-hmm. Rules are meant to be broken.
That could be either one. I guess Trump. I'll go with Trump.
Correct. Your business and your brand must first let people know what you care about and that you care about them.
Trump.
Correct. To LGBT men and women worldwide, let me say this. Wherever you live and whatever the circumstances of your life, whether you are connected to a network of support or feel
Clinton.
isolated and vulnerable, please know that you are not alone.
Clinton.
Correct.
Too many words.
Mm-hmm. I have the best words.
Not the best words.
I have the best words.
Trump.
All of the best words.
Trump.
You have to be true to yourself. You have to be enough in touch with who you are and what you want, how you want to live and what's important to you to make your decisions. Based on that, sometimes that's very difficult.
Clinton.
Correct.
It almost sounded kind of Trumpish.
It did. I have a point at the end of this. In the end, you're measured not by how much you undertake, but by what you finally accomplish.
Clinton.
Trump.
Huh. You better get on that, accomplishing things.
Anyone who thinks my story is anywhere near over is sadly mistaken.
Trump.
Correct.
Huh. What was that last quote from? The
Trump.
year? Does it
What's
say
what?
the year?
Which one?
The last Trump quote?
What I said.
Was that recent?
There wasn't a date on it.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Whether I am meant to or not, I challenge assumptions about women. I do make some people uncomfortable,
Clinton.
which I'm well aware of. But that's just part of coming to grips with what I believe is still one of the most important pieces of unfinished business in human history. Empowering women to be able to stand up for themselves.
Clinton.
Correct. I suppose I could have stayed home and baked cookies and had teas.
Clinton.
But what I decided to do was fulfill my profession, which I entered before my husband was in public life.
Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Trump's gay and has a husband on the side.
Right. See, all the rest of these are really long, and you can tell they're all Clinton. Because Trump doesn't do long quotes; he repeats himself.
Yeah,
Usually.
brevity's the soul of wit.
So okay, I think we've gotten the taste.
Got the taste.
And so there's a couple of points I'd like to make. One point is, at the beginning of this, during the shorter quotes, they're indistinguishable. You got all of them wrong.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you're bad. What that means is they're very close. They're actually closer, publicly, than we think.
Yeah, and their rhetoric.
Their rhetoric is much closer than we think, and that sort of lends to, well, a lot of things. But one is basically that that they're not so different, you know?
Yeah.
They're not so different.
Not so different.
In fact,
They're
they're
all-
super
they're-
upset, you
They're
know?
trying to tell people what they want to hear, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part.
But you get into the shorter quotes with more repetition, you kind of can tell who it is, you know?
Yeah.
So there's definitely some sort of speaking styles, but yeah, as we know, communication is extremely important, and so all this is leading up to say that, like, well, they're not that far apart in some of their more shorter quotes, but Hillary Clinton definitely uses longer, more complete phrases in sort of her quotes in this list. And
I would say more
D-Dog.
extraneous words.
You could, yeah, that's another,
I would
that's
say
another,
that too.
somewhat extraneous. Cohesive sentences. When people read,
Yeah.
like I could pull up today, like recent quotes that Trump said that they aren't even, there's no information being expressed. It's just sort of jarbling. That it's like all extraneous. You know, but then there's like, what about the emails, Hillary? And then it gets extraneous and it slips away!
Yeah.
So it's like, let's have criminals and billionaires control everybody. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Cool. Criminals and billionaires.
Bankers.
Bankers.
That's
just banking criminal billionaires.
Bankers, that's who really controls everything.
It is. And that's my thought.
Yeah. Federal Reserve is just a piece. It's got to go.
So there might be some members of our audience that don't know what the Federal Reserve is. Aubrey, can you illuminate a little bit of what that is?
Federal Reserve is a central, privately owned bank that all throughout the history of civilization in the West, there's been a battle between the money changers, quote unquote, and the government, like a battle for who should print money. The Bank of England is analogous to the Federal Reserve.
Are they a private corporation?
The Bank of England has nothing to do with the government of England. It's just a private thing. But it's named in such a way as to be misleading, right? You think Federal Reserve, you think, okay, federal government. But it's not. It's a privately held bank. And the initial investors, in fact, in the Federal Reserve are still unknown. We don't know who actually...
That's what I'm talking about!
And every president who has fought against the Federal Reserve System has been assassinated.
Andrew Jackson fought against the Federal Reserve System.
And he was unsuccessfully... There was an assassination attempt, which failed on him.
Was it after the Civil War that
Reagan, Lincoln, JFK.
JFK was against
So all the presidents who wanted to mint, who wanted to print money, who wanted to have the government print money,
in-house money,
were killed. Now,
Weird.
Is that a coincidence? I don't know.
I mean, certain people campaigned on destroying the Federal Reserve like Andrew Jackson did.
Yeah.
And there's cool old photos we can maybe add. It's very interesting.
And this pen isn't working, so it's really difficult to write things down. Federal Reserve. The colonies in the olden days of before the Civil War, the colonies printed their own money. It was called colonial scrip. It was just paper money. It wasn't backed by anything, I don't think. But it was agreed upon that it would be the medium of exchange. And it worked great. The colonies got super prosperous. And then Britain was like, you can't do that. We want to print new money. And Benjamin Franklin, actually, it was his theory that that was the cause of the Civil War. That it had nothing to do with slavery. It had everything to do with the control of money, printing money. And, the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, because Civil War was after
Not the Civil War, the Revolutionary War in Britain.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't so much about taxes, it was more about who controls the money. Britain wanted to control the money, but the colonies wanted to control the money. So, and the most prosperous times in America have been when the government is the one printing the money.
How about
not some public, not some private bank.
Yeah, private fucking bank.
Because it's
Are you
What are
ready
you
for?
gonna do though?
Are you ready for the official story?
Yeah. I think I got some of the facts right there.
You did. Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. The Federal Reserve, the central bank of the United States, provides the nation with a safe, flexible, and stable monetary and financial system.
Wrong.
The Federal Reserve
100%
System
false.
is the central bank of the United States. It performs 5 general functions to promote effective operation of the U.S. economy and, more generally, the public interest. The Federal Reserve conducts the nation's monetary policy to promote maximum employment, stable prices, and moderate long-term interest rates in the U.S. economy. Number 2, promotes the stability of financial systems and seeks to minimize and contain systemic risks through active monitoring and engagement of the U.S. and abroad.
That's such
Number 3,
Orwellian language.
Totally. Promotes the safety and soundness of individual financial institutions and monitors their impact on the financial system as a whole. Number 4, fosters payment and settlement system, safety and efficiency through services to the banking industry and the U.S. government that facilitates U.S. dollar and transactions and payments. And number 5, promotes consumer protection and community development through consumer-focused supervision and examination, research and analysis of emerging consumer issues and trends, community economic development activities, the administration of consumer laws and regulations.
A lot of 10-cent words in there. Promotes the obfuscation of simple concepts by using extraneous words over and over again repetitively. You.
Yeah, so
I think Finance Corp should manage
the Federal Reserve.
money.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm totally
Mayonnaise, like mayonnaise flavored money. Scratch and sniff. Scratch and sniff mayonnaise money. Maybe a scratch and sniff poison ivy.
Final Corp, get out of my head.
So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So I want to bring.
too serious.
I want to bring this back around. And now we know about we're gonna do some quotes about connection.
Hopefully, it doesn't have to do with audio-visual connections because I've had enough of that for today. What do you got?
Do stuff. Be clenched. Curious. Not waiting for inspiration's shove or society's kiss on your forehead. Pay attention. It's all about paying attention. Attention is vitality. It connects you with others. It makes you eager. Stay eager. Susan Sontag.
Oh, I like her.
This one's too long. I'm not going to read that. We cannot live only for ourselves. 1,000 fibers connect us with our fellow men. And among those fibers, as sympathetic threads, our actions run as causes, and they come back to us as effects. Herman Melville.
Ooh, another hero of mine.
Right? Love is our true destiny. We do not find the meaning of life by ourselves alone. We find it with another. Thomas Merton.
No, okay. Is he a poet or something?
I'm not sure.
Thomas Merton, is that what you said?
Correct. Thomas Merton.
I think he's a poet.
Invisible threads are the strongest ties. Nietzsche.
Ooh, Nietzsche. That's quite a ding.
It's still
some
ringing.
resonance to it.
Still ringing. Jesus. When you have once seen the glow of happiness on the face of a beloved person, you know that a man can have no vocation but to awaken that light on the faces surrounding him. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. Camus.
Oh, okay. I was going to guess like Robert Frost or something.
See?
Had to be someone who lived in a climate where it snowed. Or was cold.
Decent.
Anyway, Camus, yeah.
This time, when we kiss, I feel it in the pit of my stomach. I feel it in my heart, and I realize love isn't about sex, it's about connection. Ellen Hopkins. Well,
I don't know who that is.
I love lots of people I don't have sex with, so that's fine.
Yeah, I do understand the like, just visceral nature of kissing someone, you know. Someone that you love, it's like, it is like a pit in the stomach kind of thing. Rattlers, stomach. Cool. I don't know who that is, though. Who that person is.
Brene Brown?
Is that who that said that quote?
No, that's Ellen Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next quote. I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. When they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from relationship.
That sounds like my boy Marshall Rosenberg.
It's Brene Brown.
Oh, you
But
just said that.
I like my broham. Whatever is rejected from the self appears in the world as an event. Jung.
Huh. Whatever is rejected from the self.
The eyes are one of the most powerful tools a woman can have. With one look, she can relay the most intimate message. After the connection is made, words cease to exist.
It's gotta be a Frenchman.
Jennifer Salaise.
Okay, French woman.
Beer. That one's still going.
That one's still going.
Yeah.
You're
Thank
good
you, sir.
then.
Well, we do love craft beer, and it's just a hot day, and thanks for thinking of me.
Can you pass me the
Yes, I can.
thing, Bob?
You don't have a pipe, do you?
I don't.
To run and get one. The world is so empty if one thinks only of mountains, rivers, and cities, but to know someone who thinks and feels with us, and who, though distant, is close to us in spirit, this makes the earth for us an inhabited garden. It's kind of like the spirit, we're spiritually connected in space.
Yeah, who's that?
Wolfgang von Goethe.
Okay.
Johann Wolfgang von Goethe.
Goethe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a German author. He wrote Faust.
Oh, thank you.
He was apparently a mega guy.
What about him? Do you know about him?
Yeah, he was just talented in everything he did. And he was sort of a Da Vinci level. Like, he knew that he was exceptional.
Really? In his real life?
Yeah. But he was big into art, the arts, specifically writing. And I also heard something, it could be apocryphal, but when he died, it was like 60 or something like that.
A young guy?
Someone, went to identify the body or something, or saw him laying there, just on the doctor's table, dead. And it was like, his body was completely perfect. Super muscular, toned, not a blemish.
Seriously? He was
Yeah.
mega ripped?
Yeah, that's.
There's-
I mean, it could be a an apocryphal story, but that's.
Well, I mean,
I remember hearing that.
Can you turn this camera on for a second?
Yeah.
Show. This is what he looked like.
Okay.
He looked like a saggy, floppy
He
guy.
looks a
to
little,
me.
but he does. He looks pretty. He's got a hale face. It's like kind of ruddy look. I mean, he's not like fucking Dolph Lundgren or something, but
Dude, Dolph Lundgren can destroy most human beings.
he can. And in chemistry too. He's got like a molecular biology degree from MIT or something.
No.
Yeah, he's like a mega guy.
I pulled up Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, some more quotes from him because we went on this thing.
Oh, he's
Here
got
a
some
few
great
more
ones.
from him.
He's got some great ones.
Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it.
Yeah, he has another one that's like, I can't remember what it was, but it's like the good life is, I can't remember it, never mind.
As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live.
There you go. Actually, there's a whole book published, it's like maxims and it's like aphorisms, just like little quotes from him that he uncollected, he never put anywhere.
Oh, he never made like a book or something?
Yeah, because he
Like
was
somebody else
but
did?
he would be writing stuff down. He had a journal that he would be writing in. He would just on long carriage trips, he would just write down stuff that
He didn't
thought.
tweet those out?
No, he didn't tweet them out.
What a jerk!
He wasn't savvy to social media back then.
Well, he knew that knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not
That's so
enough.
true.
We must do.
That's so fucking true.
Get it, man?
Ideas are easy. Executing ideas, way harder.
So this next one I actually want to tell to our hot tub boss if he's listening. Correction does much, but encouragement does more.
Ooh, nice.
None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. Now, that has actually come up in Zeitgeist a bunch. That's been quoted as people experiencing the Federal Reserve without even knowing that it's a private, for-profit, fractional reserve banking system.
That gets into the whole simulation thing. If we are living in a simulation, none of us are free, and none of us.
Well, Sam Harris argues against free will.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Daniel Dennett does too. I think they sort of disagree on the particulars, but in general, they agree that there is no free will.
Nothing is worth more than this day.
I like it.
Okay. You want some more quotes? We quoted out. You need some more quotes?
Maybe we could pepper them in throughout.
Okay, so
nice.
let's
keep that tab.
Let's go. Let's call it semi move on section.
Let's semi move on.
I really want to have some of my medicine now, so I'll be right back. You keep holding down.
I'll do a Final Corp PSA.
Final Corp is the leader in the field of human voice simulation and voice recognition. My name is Amzam Zaman, and I am the product of hundreds of thousands of man-hours of Final Corp research and development. My voice is indistinguishable from that of a flesh and blood English-speaking human being. Also, grammatical never makes I don't mistakes, for example. Ever. 100% accuracy and 100% fluency. Final Corp has also pioneered shout recognition technology, yelling-based reminders, and noise-amplifying headphones. Take it from me, Zamzam Zamani. Final Corp is the voice of the future.
Final Corp. It'll be fine.
One left. Final Corp, thank you for sponsoring us, supporting us. So this is our 38th, 9th episode? 38. Noise amplifying headphones, very, very useful for those of you who want to go deaf prematurely. Awesome. Yelling based reminders.
I was going to say yelling based reminders.
This is something that it's basically a very harsh, shrill reminder system that yells at you when you need something done.
Yeah, your meetings are scheduled or your appointments are going on. It just do we run one of those, or do we have ad?
I don't think we have any, but it's kind of like time to pick up your kids at
school.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. And they have all kinds of different personalities and abrasive, ornery voices that you can use. It's really, really quite delightful. And you also have shout recognition technology.
Okay. So if I was to go like, where the hell's my car?
Yeah, it would. It's like Siri, but more for when you're shouting. If you're one of those people who's always shouting, yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, I like that.
Final Corp. It'll be
Final
fine.
Corp.
Thank you, Final Corp, for supporting this show. Thank you for your fine products. Of course, 50 flavors of mayonnaise, 50 years of experience. Final Corp. It'll be fine.
It will indeed be fine. As Goth once said,
Oh,
it'll be
man.
fine.
So as far as other topics and conversational points, what do you got?
Well, let's see. I kind of wanted to grab another beer.
Okay. Is
That
the
one
single?
for you.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about surveillance.
Oh shit!
Okay, you heard of this?
I love this topic.
Have you seen this? Just kidding. It's seen you. Surveillance, indeed. And it's almost like, I don't know. Any thoughts there?
Well, of course I want to hear. Should you start it or?
I mean, we're out of control with the surveillance.
Okay.
So surveillance, just to clarify, surveillance is the monitoring of behavior, activities, or other changing information for the purposes of influencing, managing, directing, or protecting people. So this is from Wikipedia. This can include observation from a distance by means of electronic equipment, such as CCTV cameras, which means closed-circuit TV, interception of electronically transmitted information. It can also include simple methods such as human intelligence agents and postal interception. The word surveillance comes from a French phrase for watching over.
Like survey.
Yeah, like, sur la table. Sur means from above. And veiller means to watch. So, the interesting thing, there's a lot of interesting things about surveillance. Whoops. Ooh, okay, there we go. My mic cable's a little finicky.
Could be the mic.
Surveillance. Now, probably ever since the invention of the camera, we've been watching over people. Orson Welles, back in the 30s and 40s, he knew his office was being bugged. You'd find like a big microphone behind the painting. That was the thing. It was a real thing. It's gotten more sophisticated. And nowadays, you see some of these apartment buildings, in like Oakland, for example, and there's like clusters of cameras, watching over the entrance.
Oh, like
whole
different
different
angles?
Yeah.
Dude, surveillance? Okay. Surveillance as a topic. Any more ad copy on that, on surveillance? Okay, so I think I have sort of a dual view on surveillance at this point, because like years ago, I remember my good friend, Evan, his dad worked for some of the first phone companies that realized you could be kind of monitoring everyone on the phones and stuff. He was like in the software of that when it was first going on. And Evan was telling me like, hey, even though your phone's off, they can tell where you are. And like, even if you said no, they can record you with audio or sometimes video.
Land phone?
Cell phone. Land phones too. But it's like, it's not unknown, and it's like a thing.
It's true.
And it's like...
Recently it came out that, with the NSA leaks, remember all that stuff?
Which one? Because there's a few.
Well, there's Vault 7. That was recently. That's what I'm referring to. There was something in there, the CIA Vault 7 leaks, all the hacking leaks. There was something that was like a Samsung TV, smart TV, that the CIA was like, they were able to turn on the mic and the video camera
remotely
on the TV remotely and watch you, and even on your computer.
This has a camera.
They can turn on the camera and just leave the light off, so you think the camera's off. That's like a no-brainer. And there's a the founder of internet security, antivirus security, John McAfee. He says if you've ever visited a porn site on your phone, which I'm sure none of our listeners have ever done. If you've ever visited a porn site on your phone, you're being watched. That's the way he put it. It's like, yeah.
So that's a huge cross-section of our culture.
And also, like, the phone is the perfect spy device.
Oh, the phone's the best.
Right? Tracks where you are, has audio, it can record your audio, record your video, knows where you are, knows all your preferences, all your mail, all your communications. Perfect. It's almost like it was designed to be a spy device.
Kind of like Facebook was designed.
Like you could not design a better spy device than a smartphone.
Handing everybody a smartphone.
And so, like when you download an app, like a flashlight app or something, and it's like, like authorize this app to have access to your
location
camera
settings,
location. It's like, what the fuck? Why does it need all this stuff?
No.
So
NPR did a thing on that.
Yeah, McAfee's company makes this app that basically tells you all the permissions that all your apps have, which is pretty cool.
Sounds like I would like to have that app.
Yeah, I forget what the name of it is. It's like
Debug or something.
D-sector. D something.
Freaking surveillance, man.
It's like a very awkward name, which is why I don't remember it.
Well,
Surveillance. Yeah, you got any? Okay, we'll get into McAfee. Maybe it's in a different episode.
Okay, we'll probably talk about McAfee.
Try to get him on the show.
Since we're on it, let me do this. Let me read the Track 7 Wiki Update press release.
Cool.
Tuesday, March 7th, 2017, ready?
Okay, it's a month ago.
WikiLeaks begins its new series of leaks on the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency codenamed Vault 7 by WikiLeaks. It is the largest ever publication of confidential documents on the agency. The first full part of the series, Year Zero, comprises 8,761 documents and files from an isolated high-security network situated inside the CIA Center for Cyber Intelligence in Langley, Virginia. It follows an introductory disclosure last month of CIA targeting French political parties and candidates in the lead up to the 2012 presidential election. Recently, the CIA lost control of the majority of its hacking arsenal, including malware, viruses, trojans, weaponized zero-day exploits, malware, remote control systems, and associated documentation. This extraordinary collection, which amounts to more than several hundred million lines of code, gives its processor the entire hacking capacity of the CIA. The archive appears to have been circulated among former U.S. government hackers and contractors in an unauthorized manner, one of whom was provided WikiLeaks with portions of the archive. Let's just stop there.
Yeah, privacy's a whole bag of worms.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Surveillance itself is like, what are the acceptable limits of surveillance? What do you think? Have you got any thoughts
it's
on
like
surveillance?
Why? Okay, it starts with why. Why are we surveilling? What are we hoping to learn from the surveillance? It seems like now that we're in such, we're under, look, you and me right now in this moment.
To gather information.
Are, doing that on purpose.
We'll get to that. That's called surveillance. We can get to it now.
Okay.
It's called surveillance. So surveillance is the watching from above. Surveillance is watching from below. Like when you self-surveil.
Well, that's what we're
It's
doing.
called surveillance. And that's the age of the selfie. That's what that is.
It's selfie is surveillance.
Right. Right. We're willingly surveilling ourselves. We love it. We're our own best spies.
Well, we want to share what we're talking with the internet.
Yes.
But people who are masturbating don't want to give that to the government as far as information.
Right.
Well, that's fine.
That's a privacy.
Calm.
That's a privacy thing, and that is significant. I mean, that's a big deal.
Everything's fine here, folks. We just a microphone counterbalance weight just sort of came on down, and everything's fine. There we go.
I feel like
the occasional crashes.
I feel like we need privacy.
Yeah.
We don't. Full transparency would be a hell.
I think so. If I can never be alone.
And even if the government was fully transparent, you know what I mean? If anything, in any system.
So 100% transparency is bad.
Yeah. I think there are things that the government maybe, or whatever entity should know that we don't necessarily, it's not necessary that we know it, right? So, yeah, privacy, surveillance, it all ties together.
Well, it's so thick now. I basically have surrendered. And that's part of the reason I'm like, I do this surveillance is because I don't have anything to hide.
Part of the system.
I don't have anything to hide, and I can demonstrate that I'm a safe, sane person and can operate in society just fine. I'm not I'm not plotting to harm anyone or I don't have any plots,
Well, we're
I have motives.
creators and producers.
We're producers.
But you can think of.
I do have an agenda.
You can think of it as self-surveillance, though. People set up home security systems.
Yeah.
So they're watching for intruders, but they're also sort of watching themselves sleep.
They're also watching their
They
family.
could if they wanted to.
Was little Johnny doing his homework? Playing the video game.
Right. Monitoring them.
Baby
Keeping
monitors,
tabs
right?
on them.
What if you had a baby monitor and then like you got to be like 4 years old and you still had to, and then you were like 13 and you had to carry your baby monitor and still your parents were like watching it. And you'd roll in a J and just make it out with some weird guy and then
just instead of a baby
parents are
monitor,
watching.
just replace it with the social security number. And
Ooh,
basically,
dude, we're
that's
there.
where we're at.
You almost need that to log into Facebook now. And Facebook is the best kind of surveillance because you give like trends upon trends upon trends of your information away, like what time you do, how like extravagant how bold and exciting you are making decisions, like that's all rated and sold, and and so all the social media is just compounding. It's almost like the yang has slowly swollen into the yin. That's sort of what happened now, because I just sort of operate under the assumption that I'm basically being filmed at all times when I'm out in the world.
What's the yin in that yang, though? There has to be like a countervailing.
Well, if the yin is trying to be not monitored, like if you're like maintaining privacy. And you sort of let it go because there's those cameras when you go to get cash out at the ATM. You let it go when you walk into a restaurant because there's cameras there. You let it know when you knock on somebody's studio. They're probably gonna have a camera going. It's just like there's acquiesces and it swells until that's the norm.
It's crazy how much we acquiesce.
That's what I'm saying. It's gone now.
You scan, yeah.
We've let it go.
Most of it.
Only when we camp do we
like,
actually get that.
You scan your fingerprint onto your phone so that your phone opens up to your email, which contains like all your interpersonal interactions fully documented. Then you use your text messaging app, which is more sort of immediate friends, and it's like it's just an information gathering device on you.
And you just fill it with content all day.
And people couldn't be happier. Couldn't be more willing to use their phones to surveil themselves.
Take selfies, upload them to the internet. Yep. Well, I think that there's a sharing and public...
right?
Sharing
giving
and publicness
giving your
good.
information to a large corporation is called... We call it sharing. That's how we get people to just do it.
In the old days, they might have shared by writing a thing and trying to get it published.
Right.
Or, like, that's kind of
people,
that would
there
go.
was no... I mean, the post office wasn't reading people's mail.
No. Right. What I mean is, like, if you wanted a selfie in 1890, was to like try to get something published. So now everyone's publishing all this stuff for free constantly, and I think that without that it would be unhealthy. Thank you, doggies.
Without what?
If we didn't have like a selfie expression that was sort of pan person, so like social media photo selfie sharing is a strategy, is part of doing the self-surveillance. So if there was none of that, I think that would be bad, like hermit-like, right? I think that there's an extreme there. And I think if everything, like the shows they did in the 90s where they constantly filmed these couples living in these apartments in New York, it's just
Big
deadly.
Brother or whatever.
I mean, that sounds like hellish, because you're almost every moment is being filmed.
Yeah, except for the bathroom. Your one respite.
Right. So I say go on hikes, leave your phone in the car, go on hikes.
Yeah.
Try that,
At
because
least once a day. Put your phone away.
Yeah.
Not once a day, once a week. Sorry.
Yeah. I need that thing. But if once a week you turned it off, left it, and went out
For several hours. You just
oh no, it might be chilly, or there might be bugs, or what do we do? It's scary. No. You're a person. This is your place.
Right.
You have legs. You don't have flippers or wings. You're not a sky or an ocean animal. You're a walking animal. You're allowed to walk.
It is like a tether,
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if you were to... Someone committing suicide and they have their phone in their hand the whole time, like on the way down,
Oh, jumping off of something?
Yeah, like you could see that being sort of normal, because it's just part of who you are now. The phone, right? And what do you? So what's like the next level of? So there's a certain gradient of surveillance.
I have a thing.
That's acceptable.
Yeah.
I think there always has to be privacy at the bottom, and then there's like a scope of wide-ranging uses of surveillance.
I have an extreme idea.
And the extreme is like everyone's watching themselves and watching everyone else all day, every day. That would be the extreme version. And that's sort of a description of our
Except for not everyone has access to it. If we had a culture where everybody had access to that, we would have a certain new kind of, a new level of sort of integrity, because fucking everybody knows what everybody's doing. So you have this like stable loop, right? So I think it's scary, but I think it would create a stable loop, and that's, I think, probably inevitable.
You need some privacy, though.
I think what you would do is also unplug from the entire network and just go do things that wasn't on that network, like go in nature without any electronics. And there's still satellites, still filming you.
Just go walk into the woods.
Just go. Bring your dog that's barking outside. Bring your dog. Go in the woods. Be alone and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta shut it all off. Sometimes,
I also think. Hey.
Hello.
Lost it.
Mic cable.
Everything's gone. We down?
What happened?
What happened? Well, it looks like the live stream's still going, and the audio's coming in, so that's cool. Right? Quick replug. That's totally cool. We're cool guys, So, this is what's going on. We got lots of fun technical things all the time, and it's totally cool. You hear the dogs barking, we got computers changing stuff. I got my arm going like this. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So, it's time for some more quotes. To see and feel one's beloved naked for the first time is one of life's pure, irreducible epiphanies. If there is a true religion in the universe, it must include that truth of contact, or be forever hollow. To make love to the one true person who deserves that love is one of the few absolute rewards of being a human being. Balancing all of the pain, loss, awkwardness, loneliness, idiocy, compromise, clumsiness that go with the human condition. To make love to the right person makes up for a lot of mistakes. Dan Simon, The Rise of Endymion. Okay, we're going to do another quote as we're pulling up the technicals. Pulling up the technicals. There we go. Hooray! Spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inexorably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, and that our connection to that power and to one another is grounded in love and compassion. Practicing spirituality brings a sense of perspective, meaning, and purpose to our lives. That's the Brené Brown, Gifts of Imperfection. Oh, hey, since we're live again. We back on? I think we're live again. That's cool. Okay, final quote. That's what Jamie didn't understand. It was never just sex. Even the fastest, dirtiest, most impersonal screw was about more than sex. It was about connection. It was about looking at another human being and seeing your own loneliness and neediness reflected back. It was recognizing that together you had the power to temporarily banish that sense of isolation. It was about experiencing what it was to be human. And at the basest, most instinctive level, how could that be described as just anything? Okay, cool. So,
hello? There we go.
There it is, cool.
Who is that?
That was done by Emily McGuire, Taming the Beast. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and you got that.
Was there more you wanted to say on surveillance there?
There's probably more on surveillance. You want to...
Can we both reach it like
I don't
that?
think so.
No?
Okay, so I feel like the
What about
actual
this?
inevitability. It is inevitable that eventually there's going to be complete surveillance. I think if you try to with politics or with religion or whatever tool we could use, if we were going to try to get people to commit. You're gonna try to get people to like commit to not using their computers or like somehow make rules against surveillance or something like that. It's just gonna fucking happen anyway. Like I don't think you can't have it.
It's
So
gradient. I think we give it away willingly.
we do, and I think it's
In
gonna keep going.
increments.
Yeah, that's not gonna stop. So that's gonna happen, and it's because we give it away. We're not stealing. It's not really stealing from us. We're sort of choosing now most of it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think it is eventually that the thing that needs to happen is everyone needs to have access to all of the information. I think that would complete a big infinity loop of sharing that would make the surveillance have different effects, and those effects might be positive because of the everyone having access to it thing. If only extremely wealthy people have access to all that information, that's just like so evil. There's no possible way that isn't extremely evil in my point of view. So it's like you gotta have everyone who has access if you're gonna be surveilling. You can't really stop surveillance, so let's just make a huge surveillance system where everyone has access to it. But basically it's happening now anyway, like via social media. Social media is essentially that, but what I'm talking about is something much more holistic and you know, multi-dimensional. So every bank camera, every camera at a restaurant or grocery store, all information being picked up on cell phones is all accessible by every person. So that's, I think that would cause some eventually positive effects to an otherwise very bad situation if only insanely wealthy people had access to the information. So yeah, that's surveillance. That's my surveillance. That's my. Everything's fine.
What do you think
You
the
gotta quit
future of
bumping
surveillance is going to be?
That's what I think it's gonna be.
Drones? Like,
Oh, like the equipment?
yeah.
It's gonna be everything. This computer, cameras, drones, buzzes.
Kick-ass mic stands.
Yeah, super kick-ass.
Functional mic stands.
Muscle it. There you go. You get in a comfy spot?
Barely.
See, is it okay? Like, if we just take this off, does it work?
We'll see.
So,
Okay.
studio issues.
What about equipment?
So it's going to be drones. It's going to be probably mostly satellites. There's the whole like that. There's monitoring information and dryers and microwaves and stuff like that. Like there's a little bit of a gray area there, and that is that most devices don't record your information and stuff. That's like a wildly blown out thing, and yet there are certain devices that have microphones in them that you wouldn't think like they're for like self-diagnosis sort of. And you wouldn't think, but if say you had your smart TV hooked up, it's not so much that your microwave could videotape you, but I think that there have been some decent arguments for that sound has been recorded with the equipment inside of the microwave, for example. So like that's technically possible with the equipment involved. So it's like, well, if it's possible, then it happened. So then there's like a weird gray area there for me. So that's kind of what I think about the whole like home appliance thing. But as far as the future, it's going to be
Internet
all
of
machines.
Things.
Yeah, Internet of Things.
Yeah.
It's going to be the future of different stuff. Okay, what do you think? How do you picture differently than I said the future of surveillance going and being and feeling?
I don't know. I mean, you could picture like gamifying surveillance so that people are playing games to surveil others, but through the sort of context of a game. So you could gamify surveillance. It could become like
you
social
you
media.
try to
It's already
give me an
sort of-
example. So like I log into game survey, and I'm logged in, and I go on and there's a bank, and my game is at a bank.
Or it's like you have to match two cards. You have to match two faces together.
Oh, fuck.
You know,
We'd
like
be good at that as people.
like a solitaire type game, just a Minesweeper type game.
Which faces look the most alike? Pick. Do.
Yeah.
Next round. Do.
And it's like you're
round.
doing basically surveillance work, pattern recognition work.
Which is what computers are like the slowest to catch up on, is like because we have better eyes than them.
Yeah, we're better at it. So you can see how that could be monetized.
Oof.
And I think
Fringes of automation, man.
and I think that we will ourselves reveal more and more about us online. We'll share more and more about us.
Like social media share.
Yeah.
Give me like more
like smells.
Oh, like other senses and shit.
Real-time smell simulation.
That's likely.
That because it would just be a 3D printer. Right?
People would be
Print-
farting.
Print molecules.
People would upload farts to like Farter, which would be like Twitter but farting.
Right.
So you can
FARTR.
So everything you smell and hear, it's like, and you can smell the fart, and you're like, God damn, why do I have this app? But you put farts on there too, and what it is it
People
absorbs
share
like a
your
tricorder.
farts.
Right, you share your farts. It's actually healthy. Did you know?
They could analyze
Sharing
your
your farts
farts
is
and
healthy.
give you like results and like analysis of your diet.
That's a good startup.
Farters.
Fart into this device.
Farter.
Fart into this device, and we'll give you medical advice.
Final course. Final course is here.
Okay, how else were surveillance? What do you think of? Tell me more about your thoughts on surveillance in the future.
Well, I think there'll be way more drones. There'll be a lot more drones and like body cams, dash cams. There'll be more cameras everywhere.
New cars all have cameras.
So more cameras everywhere all the time. Everything will be camera. And it's just a matter of what do you watch when there's so many things to choose from. Who's going to be amalgamating all the data of all the cameras and analyzing it?
Computers.
Yeah. So that seems like the future of surveillance.
Yeah.
And that future is almost here already. That's sort of the world we live in. People are constantly sharing personal shit with strangers.
Yeah. I mean, we did before. Like, think about a town. You'd
Just
walk
think
around.
about what's on your Facebook.
Yeah. People would see that. You would do that in person with people. It's like not unnatural that we want to share that. It's
Right.
It's unnatural that you share it like weirdly anonymously, because you are just a login to that information. You're one password mistake away from not being that person.
Right.
But in real life, you walk around, you meet people, you actually bump around. And socially, it's harder because, you offend people or you get upset more often.
Mm.
But we all have this all, like, we're polite and stuff, because we're weirdly mean to each other on the internet. So it's like this
the
weird,
internet
like,
is a nasty
oh,
place.
are you, codename or username Five or Niner Fireflower? Because if you're Five or Niner Fireflower, I don't want to talk to you because Five or Niner Fireflower was saying the most insanely racist, insane stuff on my Twitter video and, or my YouTube comment section. Was just a nightmare. But people don't really talk like that in real life, because if they did, you'd get laughed at, or you'd be like, "Hey, man, how's
That's true.
around here
Yeah.
we try to communicate in a way that allows people to express themselves mutually." So I'm not sure if that's gonna.
Someone's probably already changed their real life name into like their Twitter handle.
Five or Niner Alpha Flower.
Yeah.
They're probably naming their kids like Baby Spar 52.
Human offspring. number.
$8 billion.
Blank.
Yeah. My name is 8 billion. Oh, is that because you were the 8th billionth person? Yes. Well, that would be cool. All right. The more connections you and your lover make, not just between your bodies, but between your minds, your hearts, and your souls, the more you will strengthen the fabric of your relationship, the more real moments you will experience together. Any fact becomes important when it's connected to another. There is no perfection, only beautiful versions of brokenness. Shannon Alder. Life's just a bunch of accidents, connected by one perfect end. Daniel C. Thomas. Just as the wave cannot exist for itself, but it is ever a part of the heaving surface of the ocean, so must I never live my life for itself, but always in the experience which is going on around me. Nice. Cool. Okay, well, those are some more fun quotes. So, now, I think we're going to, okay, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up surveillance, final thoughts, and then we're going to move on to the next thing.
Surveillance creep. You know,
We're wrapping up the topic.
Wrapping up the topic.
Wrapping up the topic.
That was the topic, surveillance. It's something we all do, and I think we do it to ourselves willingly. I think it's a part of our nature. But I also think privacy is essential to, like, mental health of the,
Harmonized,
of the
yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
So that was surveillance.
Thank you.
Did you have another topic?
I have a sounds weird.
Oh yeah, sounds weird.
I have a sounds weird, and I'm also I think it's time for, after my sounds good, I'm interested in hearing from on a regular basis.
Oh, huh.
The tools are here, you know.
Tools are here.
So,
True.
let me see. Okay, so I am a fancy music maker guy. And so what that means is I experiment with making music by myself sometimes. So now that I have access to the electronic drum kit, I'm now experimenting with recording drums and guitar just by myself, one at a time. And then I sort of experiment with one first or the other first.
Okay.
So like I'll record guitar to a click track, or then I'll make up drums to go over that, or I'll record drums to a click track and then make a guitar to go over that. And so this here is a very first draft, unfinished one of those. So it's basically just like I'm sharing a process. So what I'll probably do is share this version, and then in some time we'll probably share a final version.
Whoops.
Hey.
Second time, final corpse.
Get out of here, Final Corpse. So basically, this is kind of like just a personal thing to share because it's not done. So
okay.
It sounds weird.
Sounds good in progress.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
It's kind of Burzum-ish.
Thank you.
Like with the production, the drums low, the guitar super shrill.
Right, then.
Nice. Nice. Ooh. I think we lost the camera. I think we lost that camera. That one over there. Just disappeared from the list.
Zero. Wasn't plugged in. Now it's plugged in.
Is it on the camera mode?
It's off
Oh.
from the lack of power.
Oh, right, okay. That's right. I still have your camera. Cool.
And that sounds good.
I like it. Did you have a click track on that? Or did you just do it?
That was a click track.
Are you pretty used to that? Right, playing to a click track? Or is it weird?
I'm pretty used to it. There it is. And that's been amazing. Nice. Thank
Cool.
you. Thank you, everybody. So, do we have any other topics?
I just had surveillance.
Okay, well, let me check my notes here. Let's check the notes, yeah. Yeah. Nope.
No notes.
No more notes. So that means it's time for freeform. And
Okay.
you know what freeform is?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, can you look up what freeform is? Don't you have some of our, you probably got some notes in there, huh?
We have topics.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
We have topics.
Let's answer a
We
phone
can-
call.
You know, but
Let's see.
it's a good go. We've been going for over an hour.
Okay, what time is it? Oh no, how long is it? Okay. No, 17
It's longer than
minutes.
that. So it's the
Okay.
second half.
Okay. Well, let's just check the list.
Time for freeform.
Oh. So, freeform, you can see me moving around in the room like this. So, I can operate. You can still hear me. It's kind of a different sound because I'm not close to the microphone. Let's see here, like that one. Whoa, over here.
Freeform.
Check this. Freeform. Is this going on? Yeah, it's still. It's working
That's
itself out.
telemarketing.
You know, hey.
Good freeform. I like it.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know, move around. You can look cool. Looking cool is good.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
cool. That was cool.
nice. Yeah, I guess we do some regular bassist.
On a regular basis. Cool. So we're gonna, yeah, we get to have more wire fun. If you believe that, you believe me. There's more fun to be had with wires. Also, I'd like to thank Tim Ryan today for leaving his Shure SM58 microphone. Notice my voice sounds even more sultry today. It's because I got a newer, better microphone, and I want to thank Tim Ryan. Thank you all. Okay, cool. So, on a regular basis is coming up next, but just before that, let's sort of like, if I could speak for a moment about what I think is cool about on a regular basis. So, number one, the name is great, and it sounds really cool to me. And I wonder if there could be extra wins if there were this regular bass show where you got to hear some cool bass and you got to learn about the bass a little bit, and bass guitar is super cool and awesome, and I think that there's a fun opportunity there. And you know, there's all kinds of instruments that you can do, and bass is kind of an instrument that's in so many genres. Basically just the clean bass guitar, you know, just crosses so many borders, because I think it's an instrument for the people, and you just have to know what that means. So congratulations.
Getting set up here.
Yeah, it's going good. Hey. Oh, since you're doing that, I'll take this here. Yeah. He's freeforming it. See? These are the special episodes. You know, I have another idea about freeform too, but you know, we can also do this. Yeah, check that out.
Ooh, that's cool. Since there's only 2 cameras.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. There's only 2 cameras. We could. No, that's fine. You know, putting this on has a lot of stuff. A lot of... You hear us talk about cables and buttons and wires and switches, and it's all fun. It's all worth it, you know. And yeah, but I have to pause it to start a new track, right?
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, you know, technical stuff. So, okay, raise your hand if you are in a car right now. Okay. Oh, hey. Okay, raise your hand if you think that bass is pretty cool.
It'll be tough getting in there.
Okay, cool. All right, raise your hand if you're ready for On a Regular Bassist, everybody. Please, welcome to the show.
I didn't raise my hand, so I'm not ready.
Oh,
there she is.
On a Regular Bassist. So this camera, you just keep going. There. Oh, you got a little... ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Whoa. Oh. Too many wires for sure. Closer. It's very specific.
Okay, cool. We got you.
Trying to dial it in, literally. Can you hear that?
Yes, we can.
Wait, what? Okay. Should probably record it.
Yeah.
Are you listening through the headphones? Oh, I see.
A little regular bassist for you. That's an oldie. Thanks for listening. And thanks for watching.
Okay. Well. Any final words on the regular bassist, or are we just leaving it that sweet, sweet music?
Leave it at that.
Okay, folks. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Go to the usual places: iTunes, YouTube, Patreon. Check us out.
EmpathyandImagination.com. Thank you so much for spending your time today with us here at the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. I want to acknowledge you for taking time out of your day to listen to us discuss empathy and imagination. EmpathyandImagination.com.
Empathy and imagination. Empathy and imagination.
Holy moly. I think this thing was mostly working.
Yeah. It's just that the camera ran out of batteries. That was the only issue, right?
See, this almost works. Like that. And then I could still have this on. Yeah, there we go. So if I did this, and then I'd be like...
You could like zip tie it and make it a little stand for itself.
It's like, if you put this, it gets in the camera's way. You're like, that's in my way. See, then you go like this, and then you do this one, and that one, and then you get that.
That's pretty cool. Is that one on again?
I don't think so. You could check it. So in just a few minutes, we'll be beginning the after show, which of course is where we eat poop or drink music or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's like
Cool. All right. Check out Hold on. Stand by. Just a moment. We're going to switch into selfie mode. Cool. So, thank you for being here. And I think I might play some music here. So, if Aubrey's going to play some music too, might record that. So, okay.
After
Later.
show?
After show.